Hi folks, this is your MWIS Fleeting View in association with Petzl. Make the most of a quiet day on Wednesday because things are turning increasingly unsettled later this week. Very stormy across most places on Friday, and the outlook is unsettled as well. We do though have some accumulating snow developing across the mountains. Temperatures will stay generally near or below freezing point across higher mountains during the week ahead, particularly in Scotland. This is how the freezing level is looking on Wednesday, around 800 or 900 metres typically. Some frost locally in the morning, lower down, especially northeastern areas, and that will be similar onwards into Thursday, maybe even just a bit lower as the day goes on, dropping towards 600 metres across the Highlands with time. That cold air is in place as we head through into early Friday, and as that is run into by the weather system coming in from the southwest, that will produce some snowfall over the mountains. The freezing level will then vary quite considerably, lifting above the tops in England and Wales, at least for a time, but dropping rapidly again. A brief lift, perhaps even above 1,000 metres in the Highlands, but that will be quite variable, and then dropping quickly again late in the day on Friday. So any short-lived rise of temperature is soon gone. Saturday looks as though we've got a freezing level pretty low for most places, 600 metres or perhaps lower in some areas, and that stays pretty cold through Sunday as well. A slight lift coming up from the south. Temperatures in Wales may lift to freezing point right up to higher slopes, but Scotland looks like staying colder, and a general pattern of Scottish mountains being coldest next week, maybe a brief thawing on Monday as some milder air comes northwards, but chillier North Atlantic air with freezing levels at around 800 to 1,000 metres looks believable onwards into midweek. How does that look in terms of snow depth? Well, Thursday sees an accumulation develop pretty widely over the Highlands, a dusting at least across the tops in northern England, icy too possibly across the summits in Wales. Friday sees a snowfall for a while up to dawn over northern England, but that soon gets washed away by heavy rain. Across Scotland, more substantial snow, even to middle elevations. That may just turn a bit slushy though on those mid-slopes, but a coverage widely across the higher terrain, and that will come down lower again through the night into Saturday. Greatest accumulations looking to be focused over more western mountains through this weekend, with some further additional accumulating snow falling to lower elevations, and a covering likely too across the tops in England and Wales through the weekend. The weather charts for the days ahead are looking like this, and Wednesday has the weak remnants of a previous low pressure system just around. Very light winds overall, a few showers locally near to western coasts with some snow flurries just pushing inland at times over western Scotland, and one or two drizzly showers coming inland from the west coast in England and Wales as well. A lot of cloud cover will shroud many of the mountains. Some breaks will emerge in places, eastern areas, northeastern parts of the Highlands perhaps faring best for some sunnier breaks at times. Thursday sees the beginning of our turbulent Atlantic regime with quite an active frontal zone coming in. A dry start across many north and northeastern districts, and you may well stay dry for a good part of the day across the far north of the Highlands, but the frontal zone will bring some rain and hill snow above around 600 or 700 metres, abruptly turning heavy across many western areas. That will sweep through across Wales during the middle of the day. Clusters of showers will follow, and similarly turning showery across western Scotland later. Those showers with some snow and possible hail even coming down to some middle and lower elevations. Strongest winds developing through England, Wales and southern Scotland, but quite squally and gusty even further across the Highlands as that front arrives. Gales developing then at the strongest of these speeds across the Welsh mountains during the daytime. Taking that sequence onwards through Thursday evening and night, here comes our developing storm system from the Atlantic, with rapidly strengthening winds becoming gales or severe gales widely, an extensive swathe of rain and upland snow pushing northwards into Scotland. It will be the wind that is the main focus of Friday's forecast though, with the potential for extensively severe conditions from lower elevations upwards. A degree of uncertainty of the fine detail of the centre of that low across Scotland may give a relative lull for part of the day across the Highlands, but I'd be prepared for severe conditions at least part or for a good part of the day on Friday. Strongest wind speeds extensively around the squeeze of the low from southern Scotland southwards will be in excess of 80 miles an hour across most hills and mountains, in excess of 100 miles an hour even across some higher terrain at times, and that could easily extend further north through the day into Scotland as well. So all in all, a very severe day for Friday for most. That system pulling away northwards through into the early part of Saturday leaves a strong westerly wind continuing, still gales into Saturday morning, but nowhere near as severe as on Friday. Further showers will feed in from the west, and they may have some hail and thunder in the mix at times. A little cluster of showers could run across northern England, some uncertainty with that one. Showery snow and hail most frequent though in western Scotland through the daytime. Do be prepared for fresh lying snow, perhaps extensively across Scotland, and severe wind chill over higher terrain. Another little feature running in from the west on Saturday evening may give some further snowfalls across the mountains, and then we're watching for another centre of low pressure eventually by Sunday. Could be a dry spell early Sunday daytime, perhaps getting away dry for a bit longer all day through Scotland, but further rain and possible hill snow comes into Wales, and the wind strengthening again with the risk of further gales or severe gales by later in the day. That's all just part of the Atlantic weather systems at the moment, and that will continue most likely into next week as another centre of low pressure is around. More uncertainty at this stage for what will happen to that into Monday, but some further rain and hill snow is likely, and strong winds very likely in the forecast. And that unsettled trend takes us a good number of days forwards, and I suspect that will continue even into early February with further Atlantic systems sweeping through. Any improving conditions looking short-lived, so finding windows of opportunity at short notice will be crucial to your planning. Overall then, frequently windy, frequent gales, severe at times, with further precipitation coming through, a mix of rain, snow and hail, most frequent in western Scotland, frequently accumulating across the mountains as well throughout that week ahead. Some challenging times ahead then. Do keep right up to date with all the very latest forecasts. That is your Fleeting View in association with Petzl.